Welcome to another edition of XFeed. Apparently, this isn't working on X. I need to double check that. So apologies for the minor delay off of the rip here. Hope you guys are having an all right day. Yep, it's totally chalk. That's what I call tough. Okay. Welcome to another. Hold on a second. There we go. Now I hear myself. Okay, cool. Yo, yeah, triple double banger. I have no idea. X is completely chalked. We're here. We're rocking. We got Twitter, not Twitter, Twitch. We got YouTube, Atari. What's going on? Did you get a notification about this at all? I'm curious where you guys are coming from. That's super annoying that this is not working. X-Rugged. We live. All right, cool. We're posting this to everyone. Okay, yeah, Twitch notification. Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys having that on. Thank you very much. We have a lot to go through, starting off today with some merchandise, actually, which is kind of wild, but wanting to jump into the fact of Mintage. Now, if you guys don't know what Mintage is, basically this is a collection that is trying to become a brand that does clothing within kind of like the Web3 space, but it's branching off beyond. So the 9DCC, if you're familiar with that, which we've talked about before, that's another brand. And so these guys, they have like this new jacket that's coming out. And listen, I actually think the jacket is sweet, okay? But my problem with this is that, like, I asked, I think it might have been this tweet, and I was like, okay, so is like there any perks or discounts for having the Mintage pass because they have one of these NFTs? Now, also, Gordon Goner, the BAYC founder, was back. If you remember back when people used to buy NFTs, he was actually out on the timeline buying a whole bunch of different collections from MFers to whatever else, and actually bought a Mintage pass, which at the time actually rose the floor price just a little bit, but it felt like they just completely stopped talking about everything Web3 related. And I know there was some discussions about how the tech wasn't necessarily ready for them to have some of the digital wearables. These are some collections. And again, I found out about this through Futureverse. And so this is like what it would look like on a fluff as an example. And it's kind of this cross collaboration between, okay, well, what if you can buy this like exact jacket in person, but then you can also wear it as your avatar within these games. Now you need that hyper realistic type style, I think, to really pull this off. Obviously, in Decentraland, the early Bored Ape Yacht Club hoodies were a part of that, but I mean, they got a lot. I'm surprised because I posted in their Discord like 4 or 5 days ago and nothing. Other people have asked questions in there too, and it seems radio silence, but they still post stuff. So it's like, what, guys, what in the halibut is going on? In the last 5 days, we've begun seeing the largest individual punk holder begin lightening his collection at some very fair prices. If anyone is shopping for something specific, I'd think of this as pristine opportunity to browse the individual's collection. So we have a sale here for $93,000 American, which is kind of absolutely crazy. But what is noticeable about this? What's noticeable about this? Well, you'd say, okay, maybe it's the, specific trait, the mustache. These are a little bit rarer ones, or are we seeing some of the first bigger signs of, oh my God, we are not all the way in ETH. We don't know if the NFTs are going to correlate to ETH. We know the ETF is coming. And this individual who's got a lot of ETH sitting in their back pocket, potentially with these CryptoPunks, are trying to move it to get into it again. Within the past 7 days, ETH up 13%, Bitcoin at 12%. Mr. Harry Swan, how in the halibut are you, sir? Good to see you. But it's crazy to think about. We might see a cascade within NFTs as people now rush to go and get within those cryptocurrencies. Okay, do you guys remember Yieldosaurus? So apparently there was this huge follow-up story that ended up happening where we'll get into that part in a second. Let me preface that by saying this was like his original post that went crazy. He says, if you are rocking a profile picture under $100,000, please don't at me or share your opinion on my wall. I don't care what you have to say. Reality is you need to work harder, move out of your mom's basement, stack ETH and Sol, buy a few real PFP, then share your opinion. Now, this is back when the market was decently strong. Bored Apes were holding up where a lot of other things were not doing great, and this guy got absolutely crucified for having this take on the timeline. And I mean, it's pretty kind of crazy at the same time when you're like, okay, this isn't like a copy pasta. They actually mean it. And so Rice Farmer did this entire thread of where he went over, and apparently he like got into some scams for people and all these other things. And there's a photo that I have of me and him standing in the line at the Bored Ape Yacht Club Festival. And if you watch the stream a lot, you might remember this, but it wasn't the festival. It was like the boat cruise line for the first Halloween event for Bored Apes. And he like walked up and everybody was trying to like cut in line. And the dude acted like he knew me. And I was like, I have no idea who this is. But man, the confidence factor of him apparently to go out and do this afterwards, unbelievable. Yo, Jerry, what's going on, brother? How in the halibut are you? Guys, do you like halibut? You ever go to a restaurant and actually order fish? I feel like most people don't. Cool Cats, listen, I have questions about this because this seems massive, but I have no idea what the next steps are. So we are thrilled to announce the launch of our Cool Cats Manga series in collaboration with the legendary ex-manga Kodansha and innovative San Fran, Tokyo. This series brings your favorite characters to life in the whimsical world of Sapphire Town, illustrated by the talented Yuma Netsuna. Our partners at Kodansha have brought world-famous stories like Akira and Attack of Titan to life, and this partnership ensures Blue, Chugs, and friends all benefit from Kodansha's experience with top-notch storytelling and captivating artwork. The first chapter of Cool Cats, translating Cool Cats Welcome to Sapphire Town, is now available for free on Comic Days and Yan Manga, with monthly online releases to follow. Okay, so my issue with this is there's like no link to anything. So like they highlight the Manga thing, which is the official manga platform. So I'm like, okay, am I supposed to go sign up with that? I like, this is like a very small and minor detail, but I'm like, I'm not familiar with any of this stuff. We've kind of highlighted two different things. I don't really know where the next steps are. They mentioned the platform of where the hell is it? We just read it. Is now available on Comic Days and Yan Manga. So if I just type in Comic Days, does that come up here? Oh, it does. Okay. And we're going to have to translate that over to English. Oh my goodness. But still, I mean, really cool to see that Cool Cats are having kind of a bigger play here. I felt like the whole San Fran Tokyo manga thing was announced, and then it was like, kind of like, okay, cool. And then we haven't really heard about it. And then all of a sudden this is fully released. But we'll see what the numbers and the interest within that series is from that, but cool to see that they are trying to go global with it. Ray Buckton from RWA.world. If you're interested in real world assets and you're trying to find like a database for them, Ray and Tyler do like this ridiculous breakdown of like everything RWA related within crypto, and it's really, really cool. But he highlighted a tweet saying crypto sector performance over the past month, and you can see down here that RWA's real world assets are actually the highest here at 33.3%. NFT applications, second worst performer at negative 37%, and AI actually taking a massive hit at 38.1%, which is kind of crazy, where Bitcoin and ETH were kind of down, but obviously we've seen a huge uptick over the last day or two, and this was on June 20th. So again, this was, about 20, 30-ish days ago, but crazy to see that AI and NFT applications actually had some of the worst performers. And of course, us out here in NFT land, yo, that's us, baby. True. All right, Lupify talking again here about the Treeverse and Capsule Heroes, which I guess is a part of this Endless Clouds bigger brand that's there, and they're launching a cloud token. And so the question we're going to continue to see over these different launches and these token happenings is what goes on with the NFTs. Is the idea just that there is some kind of token for the NFTs, and that's going to be, the perks for it? What are the game things going to actually enhance, provide? Is it just some kind of wearable or different aesthetic within these games? Very curious to see how that plays out in the flip-flop between things, because again, it feels like for the most part across the entirety of NFTs, the big perk for having them is just simply the token. So we'll see if this is something else. Yo, Jerry, we gotta bring some energy, brother. Breaking, this is yesterday, so it's not breaking anymore. Spot Ethereum ETFs to launch on July 23rd. Decent. So we have, how many days is that? 23rd. Yo, next Tuesday, we're going to make it. Right. Only 4 hours left until the Pudgy Wizard collectible releases on Network Live. So I'm kind of a fish, right? And I didn't even realize that Network Live has like a slew of other offerings within the NFT land, where Takashi Murakami highlighting they have cards as well. If you've never checked it out, it's just called The Network, but it's spelled kind of weirdly, so just keep that in mind. In the NTWRK, not the full word. But Pudgy Penguins on here. They got designer toys, art, shoes. I mean, we have the Takashi Murakami pillowcases on here. We have Nerd, Scene Sounds by Burnt Toast Gallery, picked disc. What the hell is this? Limited edition Nerd, Scene Sounds by Burnt Toast Gallery picture disc, created in celebration of Interscope's 30th anniversary. Interscope reimagined. The edition of 500. All sales are final. Charity participation does not imply endorsement, approval, or recommendation by Universal Music Group or its affiliates. So that's interesting that there's a little bit of like a caveat on the bottom of this entire thing where showing, hey, like the Doodles brand Burnt Toast is a part of like this Universal Music Group, which, I mean, again, all these big players are having these massive launches, and it'll be interesting to see what comes of it. Going over to apparel, can we get anything spicy on here? Not very familiar with any of these. Don't see any kind of NFT relation so far. Nope. Okay, so this must be a little bit more than just your traditional top ETH projects, but Pudgy Penguins launching a toy on there. Kind of interesting to see. Pac-Man, guys, if you're holding on to any Blur, Blast, yada, 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 this one might be for you. Fee switches are often seen as binary, but this limits protocol's ability to adapt to market conditions. So he's talking about fee switches in the terms of Blur, where right now the royalties and whatnot, they have optional royalties, but the marketplace itself, from my understanding, I might be wrong unless it's like 0.5%, is they're not making anything. So the narrative currently is that Blur is worthless, it's only a governance token, and we'll have to see what the value proposition is. And some people are saying, this is Pac-Man kind of hinting at what's to come. So let's continue. Higher fees work when markets are hot, and lower or zero fees are better when markets are cool. Proposals considering dynamic fees based on trailing 30-day volume or decisions by a community elected council could be the solution. As the macro environment for crypto improve, it's more important than ever for communities to consider these factors in fee switch proposals. So again, you put this proposal forward, well, maybe if Blur gets activations on their NFT sales, again, speaking specifically and only for myself here, I would say that I still normally check Blur over OpenSea, X2Y2, Magic Eden, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I'm not necessarily out there going and buying NFTs right now, but if I were, I would make the argument that I'd probably use Blur. So if they activate a fee, I do think that there would be some uptick within that. Yo, Dip Collector, yo, brother, yo, do you like fish? Yo, you ever go to a chip truck and you order a burger or you order fish? That's the question of the day. We got a local place here on Fridays that serve fish. First time it was pretty good. Second time, it wasn't the greatest halibut ever. Just sent you a link of a tweet saying that JD Vance, the running mate from Trump, is the 4th largest Bored Ape Kennel holder. Not sure if truly, but the link is in your XDM. Yo, guys, we were here live and we saw that pop up in the DMs there. Let me go check it out. I think that I saw that earlier, but I was like, nah, that's BS. Nah, no way, dude. Okay, so let's check this out. JD Vance, Trump's running mate, is the 4th largest holder of Bored Ape Yacht Club. Scrolling down to holders here. Number 2, jdvance.eth. So this is where the questions really become, where when we talked about earlier in the year, the point of politics, the crypto integration, the election cycle. Like if you watch any of these big YouTubers or people that make content about crypto, all of them have been spewing these different takes about the election year being huge and whatnot, and we're kind of seeing that come to fruition. You might have thought, okay, well, that was kind of crazy before, but seeing, hey, this person's in NFTs, into crypto, we have all these narratives that are starting. If they're actually a holder of that, number one, why in the hell did they buy so many of the Bored Ape Kennel clubs? Because for anybody that's aware of what they do in terms of utility, well, it's nothing unless you pair them with an ape or a mutant to be able to stake. They literally don't offer anything whatsoever. So why in the hell would you go out there and buy, I'm just going to assume he's got 100 of them, right? That seems Crazy. Now, maybe somebody attached this, ENS name to them, but still kind of crazy. Dip Collector, appreciate the research. Yo, somebody hire this man. He's got the alpha. Important update from Realms. We officially deprecating Realms while the website will remain up. We'll no longer continue development due to slowed growth and lack of funding. We had a blast working with the community and the amazing people at Top Shot. Wait, what? Special thanks to Dapper for their support. Your enthusiasm made this journey unforgettable. So I haven't checked out a Top Shot, but I saw that post and I was like, what in the hell? And then I saw Hated Jay saying, do y'all remember when Top Shot was promoting On Realms, an innovative third-party project that promised exciting new utility to Top Shot moments? Less than a month later, they pulled funding, essentially rendering the project dead. But why? Xavier responding to this saying, just to clear the air, Top Shot has been great to us. There were lots of great people working at Dapper. We have always felt supported throughout the journey, especially by the community. We decided to discontinue maintenance due to funding and growth. So again, I'm not entirely sure what the hell this is about. This is the original post that it looks like Top Shot highlighted. Exciting news. Wow, wrong one there. Showrooms are now open to everyone. If you've already created a showroom, you can now edit your showroom name, URL, and delete unused ones. So again, this is just sounding like you can display stuff. That's kind of it. You know what I mean? Like that's extra utility. If it's a showroom, we've had the on cyber type things. Not really sure what to think about it. Yo, Boomer. Vance went against Gensler in a clip I saw about authentication and how the blockchain can be the best way to compete with current tech companies. That's 99.9% of fake, but funny to see. Okay. Listen, somebody's out there messing with the timeline. But it is interesting because at the same time, it goes back to, all right, well, what if one of us end up becoming some prominent name in whatever the hell we do, and people go back down the record and like, that person holds this NFT, and you're judging them whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's kind of wild to see. ApeCoin make an announcement saying it's time for change. Testnet Curtis 716. All right. A lot of takes on the timeline regarding ApeChain being like, yo, they need a chain. Why did they build one in the first place? What took so long? What's the aspirations? All these different kind of questions, but really cool to see overall. And again, going into these, later summer months here, we're seeing all these massive activations for these bigger players. And so yesterday I posted just kind of a recap sort of highlighting the stream, but I said, did today's X feed stream early today, brief show. Everyone seems to be completely writing off the old guard of NFTs. All of them are close to major launches of sorts. Excited. And that's an example, right? So we have Treeverse, we have the Ape Chain, we have every single collection. I could name several more. You probably have to give me a minute because I gotta think on my toes here, but everything seems to be kind of culminating to this big kind of launch session where we've been very, very quiet over the past 2-ish years from most of those big collections that had massive raises. I mean, even talking about V Friends, right? VCon's coming up. I think this is like their 3rd year. Those aren't supposed to have any more VCon tickets or use cases beyond this from my memory. So are they going to come out with some other big announcement to say, hey, here's why you're wanting to hold these things? Like, what's the extra component of it? That's the question. That's the question. You would think Disney Pinnacle not being able to sell out limited edition drops of just 1,600 total pins would make them realize that $50 for a digital pin might be laughably absurd. But nope, they just keep trying. LOL, gotta admire that persistence. And so, I don't know. I think it's cool that there is these digital experiences, collectibles, all that sort of jazz. But like, do we care? I mean, if you're a huge Disney fan, for sure. I think, some of the notions of these are early and the idea of, are these going to be flippable? I think that's one of the biggest reasons that people are jumping over the Disney things. I mean, for charging like $50 for something that's, a rendered image that they can have, upwards of 16 times. Like, I mean, hey, I'm not great at math, but let's do a quick, so 1,600 times 50. That's that's $80,000 for a set of pins. Not bad. A little bit of a weekend work right there. That Canadian is like 100K, baby. Oh, that's a lot of cake. You know what I'm saying? All right. Question / perspective / how many of you guys are actually playing Axie Infinity? None of you. Okay. day, dude. That's crazy. But the point being is they have a daily bounty board, and we've seen this with Illuvium. We've seen this with Axie Infinity. And just to read this really quick, they have a standard bounty, which is 4 quests, but you need to own 3 Axies to partake. And then there is a 12,500 AXS prize pool for that. And so if we go over and look at AXS, that is at $6. So if we do $6 times 12,500, that's $75,000. I think. No, that's not right. Is that right? Let's pretend that it's 610 times, what was it? 12,500. Never mind. Yeah, it's exactly the same. So again, prize pool of about 100,000, but that's just for like, potentially a daily, as this one's saying, potentially a weekly if they open up to those, potentially a monthly. Disney Pinnacle collectability is not enough. Well, I mean, I agree. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people are having these applications, these abilities to sell, but then it's like, what's beyond that? With Cryptoys is another example that if you guys have followed Cryptoys at all, they have like some really cool stuff where they have like the Star Wars branding, they have, the tools and whatnot. But again, I feel like I'm not like going out there being like, yeah, I want to collect like a digital toy right now. If there's something extra to that, or if I have somebody that's really into it, maybe, but yeah, right now we'll see. Fidenza, number 90, bought for 30 ETH, $101,000. We're back, right? Okay, so I'm not sure what exactly happened here. If anybody's wanting a big slice of drama llama, oh my goodness, you got it. After a dust-up between Crypto Garga and Bonafide Mogul, founder of Sassy Labs, who powered Made by Apes, it appears all items have been removed from the Made by Apes bodega except one business, screenshots below. So there is this massive back and forth. I don't know if the tweets have gotten deleted, but I guess there was something where there was information that was leaked, and then Garga and Richie were blaming each other. There were screenshots that started being shared. There was threats of suing, which I think over in the Gala Games ecosystem, some of the founders are suing each other. Obviously, Richie's not like a founder of Bored Apes or anything, but it's wild the amount of issues on the timeline, the drama, the just craziness. If you're wanting to read that again, just go to Mr. Crypto Garga's replies, and you'll go down a crazy rabbit hole. Yo, Jake P, Mr. Plonskier from Watches.io. Growing up is about seeing that the next generation may want things different than how you do. And that's some humbling words to see, because we're always used to, hey, we want things how we want. And yesterday we highlighted about how there was somebody who was complaining about being at an airport and everybody was on their cell phones. It was like, younger people, other people just, instead of having these hardcore social interactions and whatnot, maybe they just like being on the phone. That's okay. It's just the way the world works. We can judge it, but you have to be aware the things that people want may be different than how you want them. Dota.Ron here now. Again, one of the founders of Forgotten Ruins Wizard Cult, having an interesting take here. Imagine 18 months from now, it's legal for US-based teams to launch compliant tokens that return value to token holders. What would you build? That's the question. Do we see more coming from different collections? I mean, Bored Apes are out of the US, right? They've done the token. I don't think we've heard anything about their legal conversations that happened before. But again, landscape changing very, very quickly. Facebook introducing the like button in 2009 was the first big move towards the gamification of the internet. This is a wild take. Do you think that the Facebook like button was the first big move out there for the internet to get gamified? I don't know, maybe. Socialify for sure. Suddenly it turned into, I got to get more likes instead of simply posting pics. Since then, likes, views, retweets, streaks have turned the whole internet into a game. I remember there was like some person that was saying, if you're having trouble in life, just pretend everything is a game and it'll make it better. I'm like, You know, it's one of those things that sounds good in theory, but in practice, I feel like that kind of falls through a little bit. Twitter removing the NFT hexagon verification for profile pictures significantly reduced the value of punks, Bored Apes, etc. Says Daniel Got Hits. Kind of agree with that, to be honest. Hear me out. It showed proof of actually owning it. These days, random anons just use a punk or ape as PFP, and they don't even own it, so the flex gets diluted by them. I agree. Now, I switched over my PFP to my... I don't really know what the hell I'm going to keep it as, but I've always had like the ape on like every other thing besides X, and I change it all the time here. But I agree. Like when you go and you check out just like a random sports post, half the comments for whatever reason are a whole bunch of people with like Bored Ape profiles. And I'm like, okay, is that like a real person? Are they engagement farming? What the hell is it? And you don't have that kind of like, oh, okay, like that person's legit. It sounds really, really stupid and finite, but I agree that it is something that definitely took away some of the pizzazz, because all this stuff, right? We don't talk about the digital flex as much anymore, right? Because the prices within like, you know, ETH aren't the way they were, even though in USD they're still freaking absolutely high. But it's different. At what point everybody was looking down at newspaper at an airport? Yeah, we need stuff to be gamified. Zero chance of linking my punk or ape to my Twitter. Well, I mean, what does it do though? Does it like just read your wallet? I guess you have to like sign the transaction, but I don't know. We have a post here from Coinbase with a cat saying 7/17/24. So tomorrow, does that mean that one of the cat coins get listed on their exchange? Is this the way that they're announcing new token launches? Welcome to 2024. XRP has flipped Solana's 24-hour volume. Kind of crazy to see. XRP has been absolutely moving the last little bit. A lot of the top currency or cryptos have. Within the past 7 days, we talked about earlier how Bitcoin and ETH were around 12, 13%. XRP up 35%, which is insane. Why? I don't know, dude. But we're waiting to see what the spice has for us. That's going to be it for this edition of XFeed. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Apologies that it didn't ping on X, but Atari and Mr. M. Tolly, appreciate you guys having the notifications on Twitter. Mr. Harry Swad, Jerry Dip Collector, Boomer Kid Arcade. Guys, thank you so much for coming on through. Oh, you think it's a mint? It's a mint. Okay, cool. We got a cat mint coming up tomorrow then on Coinbase.